Hey there, this is Andrea with A.D.S. here to bring you the very best in marketing and branding tips, as well as business tips for those of you who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and personal branders. Welcome and thanks so much for being here. And today I wanted to go over something that a friend of mine mentioned since our last video. Her name's Stacy. She's with Up Virtual Communications. Look her up. Love her tips on social media and all of that. And so she asked the question, tell me more about these miracle mornings, which is a part of this book I'm reading, Miracle Mornings. Many of you may know I was reading the entrepreneurship version of this in the summer, and I wanted to read the original just to make sure I didn't miss any good stuff. So I'm reading this now. And because of this, miracle is actually my one word for the year for 2020. So in our last video, our New Year's Eve, one word party we were throwing on Facebook Live, and then we also did our version here on YouTube. We picked one word for the year, and my one word is miracle because of this book. And since then, I've gotten so many great ideas on how to incorporate that into my year. I completely forgot that one of my other favorite books, A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson, not what you think it is, completely different concept on love, is based on A Course in Miracles. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go read that book and have to go read A Course in Miracles, like the original, which I think is going to be super long. But in any case, I'm sure it's going to be worth it. But I'm starting with this Miracle Morning. And so what is a miracle morning? I wanted to break that down for you in this video, and hopefully it may share some things that you may want to incorporate in your own walk this year in 2020. I think they're great. First of all, a miracle morning is built off of many of the principles that so many very successful people attribute to their lives and success and where they are, their personal development and growth. Oprah, Aristotle, that range of people who are highly successful from way back to today, all attributed to this powerful morning and these practices that go into a powerful morning. So the 6 things go into this acronym called SAVERS. SAVERS, as in saving your life, lifesavers. So the 6 things are stillness, affirmations, vision, exercise, reading, and scribing. SAVERS. 6 things, which seems like a lot, and it is, but I'm telling you, it is the most power-packed morning you will ever have. And I've been loving mine so far. Truth be told, I picked this on purpose so that I could make these mornings a habit this year. Just like last year, my word was grateful, and I wanted to make writing in a grateful journal every day a habit. So I made my word grateful, and then the grateful journal became a habit, and it is a habit today. I feel weird should I ever miss it. It's definitely something ingrained in me now. And so Miracle Mornings is a little bit of a harder habit because it's 6 things as opposed to one thing that you have to do every day. But so far, I've been loving it. I did it for a summer and I thought it was fantastic. So I'm going to just quickly walk you through each of these elements and what's involved with them, what I do with them so far. And this may change throughout the years. I'm practicing this word and this whole Miracle Morning thing. I'll tell you what I've got so far for this. So stillness is the meditation part. And so for this element, I wake up in the morning, and actually I've been following this wonderful meditation practice that a soror, aka sister of mine, that's what we call our sorority sisters, sorors, Alpha Kappa Alpha, if you did not know. And so a soror of mine recommended this fantastic meditation practice by Deepak Chopra. At the time, he was doing a 21-day guided practice really centered around abundance and life and all of those things. And so I kind of stepped in the middle of it in the summer. And so I finished half the days, and I really wanted to do the rest of it. Leave it to YouTube to capture the rest of it. I'm pretty certain this is not supposed to be on YouTube, but it is. So you can really find all 21 days on YouTube if you just search day 1, day 2, day 3 of this Deepak Chopra guided meditation. Did some of that in the summer, and I'm going back now and doing those days now. And they're so good. I mean, you could just repeat them every 21 days. They're fantastic. Or you may find one that you think is great and it's like your favorite, and you may do that more often than the others. So far, I've been using those guided meditations, and it's about 15 minutes typically. And Deepak will get on and he'll talk to you about a centering thought for that day. And so there's usually some kind of centering thought like, I open myself to all of the abundance that's around me, right? And then he'll talk to you about what that means and what it means to be open to the abundance around you. So he'll talk about that for a little bit, and then he'll, just like yoga class, which is something I would so love to get back into. But just like yoga class, he'll hit a little gong. And when he hits that little gong, he'll give you, before that, he gives you a little mantra to say to yourself. And it's something in Sanskrit, but he explains what it means. And what's nice about it is, to us, it's some nonsensical kind of phrase, but what's great about it is it helps you empty your mind. So I have a problem, and I know many other people have a problem with centering, focusing, clearing our minds of all the clutter and all the thoughts and all the things and all the worries. It's hard to clearly empty your mind. And it's the purpose of this meditation stuff, so you can have so much peace and joy. It's clearing out your mind just for a moment in the beginning of your day. And so that's what's nice about these little mantras is, you say something like Naham Narasbi or something, like it means nothing to us, Naham Narasbi, but I'm just making that up a little bit. But it's something you say when you feel your mind wandering or you're going somewhere. You just repeat that phrase to yourself mentally during this quiet meditation period. And there's nice little music going on in the background. And so I sit there, you sit there in silence and quiet and peace, and you focus on your breath and your concentration, and you just try to empty your mind. And when he hits that little gong to start the meditation, what I envision for myself, and I don't know where I got this from, it must have been in some yoga class somewhere. When he hits the little gong, it's like gong, and then I imagine this. It's very personal, but I'm sharing it with you because I think it's fantastic, and if it helps anyone else out there, take it. So I love it. So it's this golden light thing that I do with myself. So gong, he hits a little gong, and I imagine this golden light entering through my mind, right? And at the time, I'm facing a window, so there's actual natural sunlight, so it's not hard to envision this natural light entering you. So you imagine this very gold, healing, beautiful light going through your mind and down through your body, everywhere, healing as it goes along, down through your arms, out through your toes, all over. Right? So immediately I imagine that when he hits that little gong. It's so lovely. And then you just sit there in quiet and peace and try just to think of nothing at all. Nothing at all, which is challenging at the beginning of your day because there's so much we have to do, right? There's so much all the time. But it's possible. And so what I love about the stillness part, it's probably the most valuable part of this whole morning is this practice of meditation and stillness and clearing our minds and all that good stuff. You just feel so much peace when you do that, even just for a few minutes. Making that commitment to some stillness is so peaceful, and it sets a tone right for your day. It really centers you, and it helps you get back to that place of ultimate confidence where I am in charge of my reality. I help create the reality I experience. There is limitless abundance around me. There is no reason anyone has to struggle. These wonderful, peaceful thoughts that you have helps you when you get out there in that horrible Atlanta traffic or wherever you are. Or you jump on your email and you may see, problems and fires to put out and all of this. And, the hecticness of your day begins. It's so nice to begin it with peace because you can call upon that peace at any time throughout the day. And it's not unfamiliar because you were just there this morning. So I probably spent the longest time explaining the stillness part. Not that it needs so much explaining, but this is what I get out of it, and I think it's amazing. So I wanted to share that with you. Stillness meditation is awesome, amazing for your day, and it brings just so much peace. So much peace. And so that is invaluable, a marvelous way to start your morning. So that's the first S in the SAVORS acronym, stillness. The second letter, A, is for affirmations. And so in the book, and I know this because I read the other books, he's got a million of these. It's like a series, like how Chicken Soup for the Soul is. And they made like Chicken Soup for teenagers and Chicken Soup for the entrepreneur and Chicken Soup for teachers and Chicken Soup for everyone. You know, that's how Miracle Morning is. It's like Miracle Morning for entrepreneurs, Miracle Morning for the garbage guy. You know, like good gracious, it's a Miracle Morning for everyone. And so I started with the entrepreneur one, and that's why I know what all these acronyms are, even though I'm only like halfway through this other Miracle Morning book. So A for affirmations. These are not the stupid, silly affirmations where people are asking you to say crazy, ridiculous stuff like money comes to me effortlessly like a magnet. You know, everyone knows that's stupid. Like, let me not say it's stupid, but it just doesn't connect with us. It doesn't seem real. It has no validity. It feels odd. It feels awkward. We don't really believe it in our heads when we say it. We're just saying it, hoping that we actually are a little magnet for money, but really, we don't really believe it, right? So what I love about this form of affirmations is they're asking us to create affirmations that are meaningful for us and that have true, real value, meaning to our lives. So when we say them, it actually has an impact on our day. And it does. When I say my affirmations, I remember them throughout my day. It's just there because I physically said them out loud in the air, in the atmosphere. And so it's fresh. And so as I go throughout my day, I remember affirmations like, I am an excellent steward of my clients. Something I got from Janice Bryant Howroyd, one of America's, well, actually the world's first Black female owner of $1 billion business. She's phenomenal. So I stole that from her when I heard her speak recently last summer, back in 2019. Fantastic. That's one of the ones I like. I also like another one that says, as I love and honor myself, my relationships also blossom. Beautiful. That's a beautiful one. So it's just a reminder, like, be gentle to yourself, be kind to yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself, because you have to do those things. Because if we chate on ourselves, we're likely to do that to others. But if we bring ourselves love, honor, respect, we give ourselves grace, mercy throughout the day, we can have those things for other people. So that's another very important one. Another one I like, an affirmation I like, is about wealth. And I got that from a book I'm reading by Alan Weiss, however you say it. He wrote The $1 Million Consultant. And in that book, I got this affirmation I like about wealth, which says that I will create wealth, which is discretionary time. And if you think about discretionary time, that literally the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want, because you've created the life around you that can afford that, is powerful. Who doesn't want beautiful discretionary time? I want the ability to run off to the beach whenever I feel like, right? And just enjoy myself, and I could work from there if I wanted to or whatever, but it's the fact that you have the ability and the means to do that. And also, if I just choose in this very present moment, today I went for a walk by the river this morning. That's like an hour-long walk, 1.5 miles up and back. And so the ability to do that in and of itself is a form of wealth. If I were working a 9 to 5, there's no way in the world I could take the time off to change my clothes and go drive to the river, go walk for an hour, drive back, change my clothes. I mean, by the time you do that, like, especially depending on where you work, you've potentially knocked out a whole quarter of a day or more, easily. So, wealth, discretionary time. I love that one. So creating affirmations like that are meaningful to you are so important, so big. I love these affirmations. They mean a lot in my space. So the next letter is V. V, which means vision. And so when I get to this letter on this portion of the morning, what I'm doing for myself is I'm envisioning my life, specifically the way that I would love to live it. And so that's like my home, my future home. So I have, there's a home I'm picturing, very specifically how I want it to look and what it feels like to walk in and what it is like to entertain in the space, which is one of the most important things I want to do in the space, is to entertain family, friends, that kind of thing. What it feels like to walk outside in the garden and see how beautiful everything is, the flowers, the roses, the promenade, walking pond thing that I've developed in my mind about how this is going to look. Imagine my workspace in the future, the building I want to build for A.D.S. and exactly what's on every floor, even the people who work there and what they wear and what's on each level and what's up on the rooftop area where we can have private parties for clients and that kind of thing. This amazing in detail, just imagining all of it. And also the travel, going back to Europe and other places that I've never been, once a quarter, and just enjoying the time and the space and whomever I'm with, So in detail, envisioning those things, but also before I even get to those future things, I think about envisioning my day right now today. So for a moment, I'll take my phone and look at my calendar, see what's going on for the day. And in my mind, I will picture my entire day, what happens throughout each, where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing, what I need to do. And I will envision all of that. And I envision those things going well. I envision those phone calls, meetings, the work time I have. I envision all of that going exceptionally well and providing immense value to whomever I come across and whomever I may provide work for. And connecting those things to those future things of, where I see myself in the future. So that's what I do in my vision portion. I take about 5 minutes for that. Exercise I do in 5 minutes. So the exercise portion, by the way, my affirmations portion, I forgot to tell you, takes about 5 minutes too. So the stillness portion is about 15 minutes. Affirmation is about 5 minutes. Vision is about 5 minutes. Exercise is 5 minutes. In the exercise time, I do like literally 25 baby sit-ups, and I'm just like, I do what I can. Little baby 25 sit-ups. And I'll do, this is just what I've been doing so far. And then I'll do 25 squats, trying to work my glutes and hams and all that goodness. I'll do 25 of those, and then I'll do like 10 push-ups off the side of the couch. So it's like angled push-ups. That's about all I can do right now. And then I'll finish up with 10 of something else, little light, quick things, stretching or, arm things or whatever. So that's my quick little exercise, just to get the blood flowing, going, and all that good stuff. And so that's what I do for exercise. And then this is if I can afford the time, which so far I've been purposefully taking the time to do this. I spend 20 minutes on reading and 20 minutes on scribing. So those are the last two letters, R and S, reading and scribing. So my reading has been this Miracle Morning, and I'll read that for 20 minutes. And then scribing, I will just write whatever. So I've been starting an Atlanta book in addition to the Scotland book. So some days when I don't feel inspired to write something for the Scotland book, or if I don't, have inspiration for that, I will just write whatever. And, that's coming to the day. I'll just do like general journal entry. But that could be something I may want to include at some point in the Atlanta book that comes out. So, top secret, only you know that so far. So that's what I'll do in my scribing time. And that's it. That's a SAVERS acronym. So far for me, that's been a 70-minute thing. Sometimes it stretches a little longer depending on how long that meditation is or whatever. But so far it's been about 70 minutes, so an hour, 10 minutes, which is not bad. So I've not been waking up earlier to do that. I should, and I need to do that. And I know that's a part of this. I'm reading that right now. So at some point I will work on that too. Get a little choked up thinking about it. But I love the thought behind why we don't want to get up in the morning. And one of the things Hal Elrod mentions is that we tend to not want to get up in the morning because we don't have purpose and passion. We're not infused with our purpose and passion. We're not considering it when we are getting up in the morning. And one of the things I thought was interesting was Hal did this experiment on himself where he thought either negative thoughts before going to bed or positive thoughts going to bed. So the negative thoughts were like, oh my gosh, I only have 6 hours of sleep. I'm going to be so tired in the morning. Versus the positive thoughts of, great, I have 6 hours of sleep. That's perfect. It's a perfect amount of time for me to feel energized and excited about my day tomorrow. And so he had that theory that the final thought you go to bed with is a thought that you wake up with. And for him, it was very true. No matter what time, if he got 4 hours of sleep, 5, 6, 7, 9 hours of sleep, if he thought negative thoughts, no amount of sleep was good enough. Versus if he thought positive thoughts and he thought, I had a perfect amount of sleep and this was great and fantastic, then it was easy for him to get out of bed and he was excited and his morning was more positive regardless of the amount of sleep he got, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 hours. It was, if he thought positive thoughts before going to bed, he woke up with positive thoughts and it was so much easier to get up and he felt rested, energized, all those things. So, little mind juju for yourself. I may try that, for myself and like psych myself up and try to make it feel like Christmas morning, like when you were a little kid. So it's very possible, to get that excited about waking up and starting your day, when you've got so much fun stuff you can be looking forward to, like, all the stuff that we think of when we should be doing good personal development stuff for ourselves, but we're always like, I don't have time for that. Some other time when I don't have all this stuff to do, if we let go of those excuses and focus on the things that do matter, reading matters, writing matters, exercise matters, meditation, stillness in our life matters, affirmations, positive thoughts for ourselves, vision in our life matters. All those things that we know some of the most successful people in the world practice, but we don't have the same 24 hours that they do, so I love how this is changing my perception of what is achievable, what we can do in our mornings. So there you go. There you have it. That's probably more than you ever wanted to know about what's involved in a miracle morning, but that's what I do in my miracle mornings. How about you? Are you willing to try a miracle morning for yourself? Try one. Try it one time. Try it on a Saturday when you wake up leisurely and you don't have to worry about, waking up early and all this stuff. And if you love it, maybe you'll continue it for Sunday and then Monday and then Tuesday. So that is it, my dears. Thanks so much for joining me. If you like this video, please hit subscribe below, like the video, and then hit subscribe, and then hit the little bell that pops up after that so you can get the notifications when these videos come out. If you're listening to this on podcast, Apple Podcast, Google Play, yes, Google Play, Apple Podcast, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this on podcast, thank you for listening. And please do take a moment, rate and review this podcast, and please leave a comment. We love reading your comments. I read all of them. So please leave us a comment. And Otherwise, we'll see you here next time, next Tuesday. Thanks so much for coming out, and cheers to a marvelous new year. Mwah.